Ahoy there, steady as she goes and stuff like that. I'm cruising through the capital today. My orders to proceed with stealth and caution up the River Thames to deliver a precious cargo. Inscribed on tonight's Big Red Book is unusually not one name, but two. A husband and wife team who became famous from their waterside appearances. So I hope to surprise them not far from the river's edge. Now this couple live together, work together. They are as one, except that, as she says, she had a typical Coronation Street upbringing and he, by birth, is an Essex lad. But to millions of people, they're simply the couple next door. Yes, that's their little pad. And it's just another working day for our duo as they sit chatting informally to several million people. Now it's nearly time for me to go ashore and take the wind out of their sails.
And tomorrow we've got all the gang in with their Christmas specialities. For Chris Steele, that means hangovers. He still gets them, but he's convinced he can tell you how not to. He's taking your calls in the phone in for anyone who needs a sort of Christmas survival kit or indeed... Oh, no!
You.
I don't believe it!
Good morning.
Oh, no!
I wonder what that camera was floating around there. It's not even on.
Really? Not a cheat. The great thing about live television is that you see things happen as they happen. And I've just happened along to say, Richard Madeley and Judy Finnigan, today, this is your life.
This is being transmitted. Nice one. Nice one. Very good. Very good.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked.
Are we still on air? Are we on air?
Good, yes.
We're still on air.
The morning yet now. Yes.
Well, I'll gusset my buckets.
Oh, not again. Listen, what happens now is that we empty one studio and fill another. Ours is waiting for you.
We're doing this now?
Very soon. Well, here we are. Welcome to this evening with Richard and Judy. It is a rare double bill for us. It's also featuring members of your family, led by Richard's mother, Claire, and Judy's mother, Anne, Judy's twin boys, Dan and Tom, plus, as you've noticed, a cluster of friends and colleagues. Now, despite all the other programmes you've both presented, you're now sealed in the mind of the public as the husband and wife team who host ITV's popular daily magazine This Morning. And this is what led to you being described as the undisputed king and queen of daytime television.
Hello, Richard and Judy. It's always smashing being on your show. It's a great atmosphere, you always make me welcome, and we have a laugh, don't we?
Richard and Judy, hi. I'm a big fan of yours, as you know, so I think it's great news that you've been put in the Big Red Book. About time, too.
Hello, Judy. Greetings from the Emerald Isle. I was dying to get on the programme tonight. Had a beautiful suit with 2 pair of trousers, burnt a hole in the jacket. Now, I know you're going to have a very wonderful evening this evening, and you're going to enjoy every minute of it, and you deserve it. Thanks to the very lovely times we've had on this morning, and I'm looking forward to coming back on the programme once again. Frank Carson. News at 10, sober.
Well, some highlights over the years, but for one of your guests, appearing on this morning was an extremely hazy experience.
Is that it's very soft. And, OK, finish up in Spain.
Finish up in Spain. No, don't give him that. I like this.
OK, fine.
Oh, Chichonia.
I like to think, the nice thing about it is,
Oh,
but I think there may be some of you out there who may be listening to what I'm saying. Nobody here is.
Epikrasnia.
Have you thrown your glass over? No, sorry. OK, right, this is a Navarro
Judy
red.
Finnigan, you've got me
Nice
rotten
and
drunk.
Well, she's had a cold shower and she's here tonight, the one, the only Miss Lily Savage.
What about this? How are you? That's it. How are you doing?
Hiya, Michael.
Hello, darling. I don't suppose you can remember the last time you saw these two?
They got me rotten, stinking drunk. I tell you, ruined my name, honest to God.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was 3 days in the Mersey Tunnel getting home. Honestly, I was. Seriously. You go on daytime telly and this happens to you. How many times have I done your show now? About 50.
Yeah.
I should have paid the fine because this community service is a joke. I'm telling you. It's always a hoot to do. It's always good fun. And whenever I get the call to do Richard and Judy, I always drop tools and straight off because it's one of my favourite programmes to do, seriously. And you know what live telly's like? Anything can go wrong.
Yeah, well, you're one of our favourite guests.
Well, I love seeing you twitch, you see. And just like, I just go a bit too far in. Judy goes... But it's just great fun, it really is. And thanks for having me on it so many times. Yeah.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, thanks for being here, Lily.
I've got to go back to work now. Waiting in a grotto, aren't I, part-time?
You never stop. Thanks for
Cheers,
being
Michael.
with us.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Well, Richard Madeley and Judy Finnigan, this is your life. Judy, you were born at Beech Mountain Nursing Home, Newton Heath, Manchester, on the 16th of May, 1948. Your mum, Anne, and your late father, John, who ran the Failsworth Hat Company, christened you Judith Anne. Home in the early years for you and your two brothers was a red brick terraced house with an outside loo. You go to nearby Brookdale Park Primary School. There you are, in the back row. After a few years, you're given extra responsibilities.
You were my deputy, and I was head girl.
2 rows down, your best friend at primary school. You meet again for the first time in 30 years. She's married now, but you know her, or you knew her, as Joan Harris. Joan, did your deputies serve you well?
Judy was a very good deputy, yes. She was neat, tidy and punctual. Oh, gosh. And very conscientious, and we had certain duties we had to do, and we collected the registers and we changed the flowers and made arrangements, but none of them are quite as beautiful as the ones that are on your programme.
A far cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nicely said. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Richard, your turn now. You were born on May the 13th, 1956, at Dagenham Road, Romford in Essex. Here you are, trying out an armchair for future reference. Your Canadian-born mother, Claire, and late father, Chris, a journalist, christened you Richard Holt Madeley. An adventurous toddler, one day in the garden, you discover your elder sister's prize collection of pet snails.
Shock news of what you did next was hard to swallow.
Viewers with weak stomachs may wish to think of other things as we learn the worst from your sister, Liz Lawrence.
I promise never to tell.
Ah, Liz, now, Richard loved animals, did he?
Well, a bit too much, perhaps, yes. He was only a toddler, to be fair, but I had a lovely prize set of snails in my jam jar, about 10 of them. Went to school, came home, and found him on the path with lots of shells of snails. And a few left, not many, and this awful slime, grey slime, down his chin.
What about now? Do you still eat them?
Actually, we tried them, didn't we? Do you remember on the programme about 2 years ago?
They're disgusting.
And I had to go and throw up, and I think it must be some sort of deeply buried memory, you know, sort of rising literally to the surface.
I'm glad you didn't bring a sample. Thank you very much, Liz. There were other signs of your intention to become an entertainer, as your mother can tell us, right, Claire?
Do you remember when you were quite young, you and your sister putting those concerts on for us?
Oh, yeah, we did Dick Whittington.
Yes.
Yeah, and Flopsy Bunny.
Yes.
Yes.
The format was usually the same, stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
and a short, very original play, and then finished with a series of songs.
Good job I didn't go to the theatre.
And the price? A penny for the best seats in the house, or 3 halfpence if you had cookies and orange juice.
And Liz did the posters.
Happy
Well,
days.
Judy, you enjoyed singing as well, often leaning on the family piano as your father played songs from the 40s.
Do you remember dashing away with a smoothing iron?
Your baby brother, Roger. Now, Roger, we're not talking about music, are we?
We're talking hair, actually. Well, Judy always had very wavy hair. But when you were in your teens, remember, the fashion was for hair sort of straight as a board. And I remember one evening when she was getting ready to go out to a disco with her mates, sort of breaking into a room, and there she was kneeling on the floor with her head on the ironing board, ironing her hair with brown paper on it. And it was very effective, actually.
Well, we have the proof here. You see, we had before and after. Actually, quite a while after, but that's how it worked. Roger, thank you very much.
You did it very well.
Now, Richard, you start school in Romford and then the family moves to Brentwood. Your strong subjects were English and history. But away from the classroom, your great love is music. As a teenager, you team up with a school pal to form a guitar duo called Alchemy, and you earn extra money touring local folk clubs.
And I'll never forget the song that had them rolling in the aisles.
Your best friend at school, he emigrated to Australia, is 22 years since you last met, Paul Debman.
Fantastic.
Paul, what was Alchemy's top hit?
It was American Pie. Richard and I used to enjoy ourselves. We played together in the folk clubs, and I can still remember it very well, as if it was yesterday.
Yeah, it does seem like yesterday, doesn't it?
Well, I'm bound to ask, what does it sound like today?
Well, I'm willing to have a go. How about you, Richard?
Jeez. Have you got a guitar?
There's one behind
Good
you.
heavens! Doesn't matter, the guitar.
Where do we do this? We've got a collection. Where's the collection?
It's in.
What do we do? In G? No.
It's in G and just the chorus.
Just the chorus?
Yeah.
So bye,
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die." Hey.
Well done. Nice work. Well, on to the big time. Judy, armed with your 8 O-levels and 3 A's, you study English and drama at Bristol University. After graduating, you briefly sell advertising space for Yellow Pages. Did your drama training come in useful for that?
No, I hated it. I was the worst salesperson in the place because I'm compulsively honest. So I had to lie, and the whole point about selling advertising space is you have to exaggerate the benefits. So no, I was the lousiest person there, but it only lasted a year.
Well, you go on to other things, of course. You join the BBC as a production secretary, and over the next 4 years, you move on to researcher and then TV reporter. Now, Richard, your boyhood ambition was to be an airline pilot, but sadly, poor eyesight put an end to that dream. In 1972, aged 16, you start work as a cub reporter on the Brentwood Argus.
And the cub reporter soon became a real news hound.
He was your first boss, Argus editor Brian Davis.
Not you.
So he had a nose for news, did he, Brian?
Indeed, he was also always very, very keen. And I remember an occasion he said to me, "I've just looked through the electoral roll and I found a family called Baskerville. I think I'll ring them and see if they've got any dogs."
And they did. They did.
They did.
Indeed.
Wonderful. The dog of the Baskervilles. Thank you, Brian. Well, after the Manchester girl moved south, the Essex lad heads north in 1976 to BBC Radio Carlisle and then on to Border Television and Yorkshire. Here you both are in your early days on screen.
As far as I'm concerned, the Mini's been dead for a long time, and personally I can't say I'm very sad to see it die. Like everyone else in the 60s, I used to wear them too, almost up to my navel. But when I think of what we had to endure, lewd comments, rude stares, freezing legs in midwinter and black and blue bottoms most of the year round, all I can say is we must have been mad.
Well, roses don't last forever, and neither do summer festivals like the Lakeland Rose Show. This one is almost over, and quite simply, it's been the biggest and best 18th birthday party we've had in the Lake District all year. So from me, from my fellow guests, indeed from Hooker Hall, it's goodbye.
Now, in your 20s, both of you marry other partners. Judy has twins, Dan and Tom. And then comes that fateful day in 1982 that changes your lives forever. Now, Richard, you took a new job at Granada TV in Manchester, and on your first day at work, you had a minder.
There used to be a terrific system at Granada where new people, however old they were assigned what's called a parent, who would show them basically where the toilets were and where the canteen was and where the cameras were kept and such. And I was sitting at my desk and I just felt this pair of hands on my shoulder and this voice said, "Hello, I'm your mummy." And I turned around and it was Judy. And this jokey aside has now passed into legend, which we've had to live with ever since. But it's true, yes.
But it's true.
You were my mother for the day.
I was your mother.
Yes.
Well, working together at Granada, your friendship grows into a romance. Well, you marry on the 21st of November 1986, and after the birth of son Jack and daughter Chloe, 1988 finds you working with children, helping raise millions of pounds on the first ITV telethon, all 27 hours of it.
Yes. In this huge arena, we're all really looking forward to the challenge of 27 record-breaking hours of non-stop television.
And here in the Rovers' return, our spirits are high, and the beer's pretty cheerful as well, because tonight we're having a cabaret featuring the stars of Coronation Street. So cheers.
Well, while you two are working on that telethon, executives at your office were busy putting finishing touches to a proposal for a new networked morning show. Your telethon performance puts you in the frame for that series that will, over the next 8 years, see you transformed into household names across the nation. The show was called This Morning, and the programme editor became your close friend, Diane Nelms. So, Diane, why were Richard and Judy picked to front the show?
Well, what might surprise you is that they weren't chosen because they were married to each other, but because, as you've seen, they simply individually were very talented presenters. I had many years before been their news editor on Granada's regional news programme, and they always just had the most amazing chemistry together. They were the obvious choice.
And it's worked.
It certainly has.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
Well, your very first This Morning show was broadcast from Liverpool's Albert Dock on the 3rd of October 1988. It's remembered fondly by one of your studio guests that day, Paul Nicholas.
It's now 8 years since the very first This Morning, and I remember it well because you had a few gremlins. Simple things like the cameras not being switched on and no coffee in the cups. But of course, like always, you handled it with great professionalism and have made This Morning the most popular show on morning television. And long may it continue, because you're fantastic people. I always watch the show, and I know my family do, and millions of others. So I hope you have me on again soon. Take care.
Thank you, Paul. Well, let's get the figures right. Since that first broadcast, there have been over 1,700 editions of the show. Each day, up to 2,000 viewers will ring in to seek help or express an opinion. 2 experts help you handle those calls.
But we have our ups and downs too, don't we?
And our little coughs and sneezes.
This morning's agony aunt Denise Robertson and resident GP Dr. Chris Steele. No, the doctor couldn't tell you anything. You see, we were...
Yeah, professional secrecy.
Right. But you are, apart from that, a very close-knit team.
Oh, yes. I've had 9 wonderful years working with Richard and Judy. In that time, some bad things have happened to me personally, but you've you two have been there for me in every crisis, and never more than 2 years ago when I came back to work after my husband died. That first day, I thought, I can't face the cameras, I can't do this anymore. And I looked at you, and your chin was trembling so much on my behalf, and you put your hand on my arm and said, you can do it. And I did it. And thank you for everything, and I love you.
Chris.
Well, since This Morning came on air over 8 years ago, the show's gone from strength to strength, and Richard and Judy have become famous celebrities now. But yet, you know, they've kept their feet on the ground. I mean, I know I've been their GP for many years. And, for example, you know, if one of the kids are ill, Richard would come down to the surgery and into the waiting room and wait his turn. And he's got his T-shirt on, his jeans and his trainers.
And the guitar.
Yeah, I'm not a guitarist, you know. But, of course, the patients love it. It's Richard Madeley off This Morning. You've made their day. But, you know, nevertheless, it's, you know, they're very sort of normal people, really, but doing an extraordinary job.
Thank you both very much.
See you later.
Your partnership on screen helps you win TV's so-called sofa wars against your BBC rival, Good Morning with Anne and Nick. Your success has been hard-earned. Here's someone who knows exactly what your show involves, the man with stars in his eyes, Matthew Kelly.
Tonight, Michael, I'm going to be Richard Madeley. That's why I'm so delighted to be part of this tribute, because I'm one of the few people around who's had to take over from Richard on a couple of occasions. I've had one or two different Judys beside me, so obviously I'm one of the few people in the world who knows exactly what your job entails, and it's not an easy one either. Because not only do you have to remember what's going on, who's coming on, what you've got to talk about, but you've got the pressure of people screaming into your earpiece, do this, do that, do the other, and not only that, you have to work right up until lunchtime. It's a fantastic job. But the tragedy for me is that nobody does it better than you two. Have a great time tonight. On the other hand, Richard, I bet you couldn't play Mother Goose as well as me. Have a good party.
Thank you, Matthew. As well as fronting a daily show, you have a family to run. In your rare moments off duty, you all like to unwind over a meal at your favourite restaurant run by your good friends Lula and Stuart Astin.
Guess what we're cooking for you today? Rosto, lamb on the bone. Your favourite dish, and it smells delicious.
Richard and Judy, thanks for being such good friends to us over the years, and you're welcome in our restaurant anytime. Have a lovely evening on This Is Your Life, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
That's right. Bye-bye. Kalinichta.
Well, they've left the watching up and they're here. Lula and Stuart. Well, away from This Morning, you've done plenty of other work, including your own evening chat shows. Richard, you also hosted programmes including Cluedo and Runway. And Judy, you brought a series of Coronation Street specials. You've both been lifelong fans of the street. And from Weatherfield, this message from Ken Barlow, alias Bill Roach.
Richard and Judy, couldn't have happened to a nicer couple. I know that you're both very intelligent, sophisticated, cultured people of good taste. I mean, we know that because you like Coronation Street, but now you're in a very strange place, you know, and there's some very peculiar television soap operas going on down there. Don't get alienated, will you? Have a wonderful time. You deserve it. And really enjoy your This Is Your Lives, and I hope to see you soon. I'll be back in a minute, Deirdre.
Thank you, Bill. Well, last summer, the time finally came for you to leave Liverpool and move south. Your farewell broadcast from Albert Dock is a tearful affair.
And it's goodbye for the last time from our old home here on the banks of the Mersey. We'll be by another river in September, but we'll never, ever forget this place.
We can't thank Liverpool and the Dock enough, actually, for the last 8 years. I'm so sorry. I'm determined not to do this. We've loved every minute of it. Anyway, have a wonderful summer, and we'll be back, all of us, hopefully, on September the 2nd. Have a good summer. And we'll see you back in September.
See you in a month.
Bye-bye.
2 months. Bye.
And among those waiting to welcome you to London, a former guest of your Liverpool show who thinks you two are a bit of all right, Steve Wright.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Richard. Hi, Judy.
First of all, congratulations on tonight. You absolutely deserve it. You're the hardest working couple in show business and news and everything else. I remember last time I was on your show in the mornings and we were doing a phone-in. Do you remember this? We were talking about pocket money for children. And all of a sudden we took this call from a little girl who turned out to be your daughter.
What's the worst thing about being Chloe?
Not having pocket money. I get about 50p a week.
Are you giving this girl helium?
You really should put that money up to at least 55 pence. But you know, Chloe sounds like a very nice girl, lots of personality. And who knows, one day she might be big in television. What do you think?
Well, she might not have made an appearance there, but tonight, Chloe, aged 9, joins her brother Jack, who is 10, to show you just what they can do.
Hello, and welcome to our new show.
This morning with Jack and Chloe.
We've got a great show lined up for you today.
Much better than that show with our mum and dad.
Let's welcome our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeremy Beadle.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Beadle. Now, this is your first time on our show, isn't it?
It is, yes.
You must be pretty nervous.
Nervous? What? Why should I be nervous?
Well, we've got some pretty tough questions for you.
Really?
Like, who's the best band? Blur or Oasis?
Do you wear a Saatchi or Gautier?
I've got a Gautier beard.
Do you do the hoovering at home?
Do I do the hoovering? Do you mind? I mean, is that fair?
We ask the questions, Mr. Beadle.
Yes, but I mean...
Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's all we've got time for, I'm afraid.
We hope you... That's my line! We hope you have enjoyed our show with Jack and Chloe.
Especially you, Mum and Dad.
Enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Oh, off the top of their heads, of course it was. He came out of it in one piece, by the way, Jeremy Beadle. Jeremy, they gave you a tough time, though.
Yes, I've faced some tough interviews in my time, but I must say they were one of the toughest. But I must say being interviewed by Rich and Judy can be a great pleasure, particularly for me, and I've never had the opportunity to say thank you for this, but I was on the programme one day and I was getting very passionate about a subject that was very close to my heart, and Rich and Judy let me go on. Instead of having 4 minutes, they gave me 12 minutes, and I've always wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That was... But as for those two, well, I've got to say, you know, you think you've got a job? Well, watch out.
It's over, isn't it?
They're a class act.
Very good, Jeremy, thanks. And they have earned our final spotlight tonight. Your children, Jack and Chloe. Richard Madeley and Judy Finnigan, this is your life.